softball for you this past week. Go 2-2. Probably should have went 4-0 or 3-1, but just didn't go your way on a couple games. Houston game, hard fought, lost in extras, and then you come back and get the 2-1 series win against HBU. Just kind of what you see from the team this week.
Our energy and effort was outstanding. I thought we competed very well all week, and kind of a heartbreaking loss right there against Houston. I thought we played well enough to, take a lead. We actually take a lead into the seventh, and with 2 outs, give up a pinch hit home run. You have to credit, Heber for them, did an outstanding job. I mean, she was on point. I mean, she was able to keep us off balance the whole game, and we got a good break right there with Beneath getting a 2-run home run early in the game. But I thought Celine pitched exceptional. She attacked the strike zone, got a lot of weak contact early in counts. So, and we played good defense. We made some critical plays in that game, and it's good to see our kids be able to get ourselves out of a couple of jams, because we did get a couple of jams and we were able to get out of them. So I thought the energy was good, effort was good. Just unfortunate, another extra inning game. It seems like that's the story, the 7th inning, and we take leads in the 7th. It'd be nice for us to start to figure those things out and finish those games up. Kids didn't get down. We came out and just a real, I don't know how to describe that game against HBU, that first game. They come out, take a lead, we come back, and just a lot of things happened in that game that wish we could change that first game. And I guess that's how the game is. But we were able to put some hits together and get ourselves back in and load up the bases a couple times, and just kind of lacked a timely hit. I think we put ourselves in position, to win the game and didn't get the job done. Timely hitting has definitely been hard to come by, not only for the series but for the season. So as we grow and young players get in that position, hopefully back quarter of this schedule, we figure those things out. I mean, one thing that's been consistent is our pitching staff has done a good job keeping us in games, and we played outstanding defense again. Kind of an HBU game with 2 outs the first game, and just takes a funky hop right there to score 2 runs with 2 outs on right over the top of Sarah's head. Looked like a ground ball to end the inning, and that ball just jumps right over her head. That's a tough play. It's a really tough play. And I thought the next game, Celine came out, and obviously 1-0 game. She did her job, and defense did her job. We were able to scratch and run early, and then we were able to scratch some runs in the final game. I think we scored 4 runs in like the first 2 innings, and that proved to be enough. But I'll tell you what, HBU competed well. I mean, they were tough outs at the plate. They played outstanding defense against us all weekend, and they made some good plays. A couple balls we hit hard in caps. Their outfielders run them down really well. So it was a competitive series. Definitely, if you took the between Northwest and Houston, extra inning games, then the way that series went down, just a ton of stress in the last week on our kids. And they're handling it well, for a young group. I mean, to play that many close games on that kind of stress and still be able to stay composed and not let negative outcome kind of dictate the way you come out the next day. It's been showing some maturity for a young group. How that pays off for us down the stretch, only time will tell. But I do like the way our kids keep coming out every day, showing up, competing, getting early work in, and still having some hope. And we know how this conference race is. It's going to be an extremely tough race down to the last game.
You mentioned the maturity of the team. I guess just looking at the top as far as your upperclassmen, what does this say about, you take some tough losses? And, I was looking after the first HBU game on Friday, and after the game, I guess it just seemed like they kind of already let it go. So I guess just what's that senior leadership or upper class leadership like, that you guys can take such a tough loss, let it go, come back and rebound the second game?
Well, it shows that kids buy in that our identity is not tied up in wins and losses. And our identity is, we want to be a good softball team. We want to be good people, and we definitely, our players buy into, there's always a chance to grow from every situation, just like life. And we kind of reflect on life through our game. Our main job is to prepare these young people for life after sport. And I think our players understand that. We want to do the best job we possibly can that we're designated to, but it does no good to sit there and sulk in it. It's about moving on and finding a way to move forward. And I think that's what these girls show me, even as a coach, is that there's a lot more to our life than just one loss or one win, and there's still another game coming, so there's no good to sit here and feel bad about it. You need to go ahead and figure out how to get it done. It's kind of been our motto this year is, you know, we need to evaluate what didn't go right and just start trying to figure out how to get better. And you can't do that by just dwelling on the past and staying stuck in that moment forever. So I think they're strong, and this is a strong group of young athletes. And you know, sometimes the game doesn't reward you like you'd like to be rewarded at that moment. But you know, we're in it for the long haul. We realize there's a lot more than even just this season. There's a lot more to life than a win or loss.
Now this week you got UL Lafayette coming to town, then long road trip this weekend. I guess just a preview for this week.
Well, obviously, you know, we're going to come in and play Lafayette team that's outstanding. I mean, they have 4 losses on the season. You know, they play well in all phases of the game. They can pitch it, hit it. They run really well. It's a good defensive team. Obviously, last time we met up with them as 11-inning game, so everything is great for an environment. It's a great opportunity to play a good team coming into your home place. You know, and going in. So you know, Jerry, they're going to be ready to play. That they come out and you see how they've been playing since the game against us. They've been putting up runs. They've been playing exceptionally well. So we expect nothing better than, you know, when you're facing a top team in the country. You know, you're going to see a good, solid team every time. So that's what we got to expect. You know, going into the weekend. Again, you know, we got to do a better job of focusing on us being able to produce runs for our staff and our defense, and that's what we need to focus on this weekend. It's, you know, Abilene Christian is going to be well coached. Bobby and his staff do a great job of getting those kids ready to play. They're a very disciplined team. They don't make a ton of mistakes. So, you know, but at the end of the day, it's going to be about us kind of growing up at the plate and trying to figure out how to win some close games, because we know every time you get to conference, every game's going to be hard fought. And every game matters in this race. If you look at the standings, how the conference is doing against each other, every game matters. So we have to make sure we go in there and we're able to somehow play some blue softball and play fast and clean.
What's Brinique's status? I know first game she took a pretty nasty fall in colliding with I forget the other outfielder. So yeah, what's her status that you know?
It's questionable right now. We're not real sure. Still got to get her into with the doctor and get some. It's still a little early in the process to find out the results. Definitely data, you know, questionable right now at best. I don't know too much more. Hopefully by middle of the week we'll have a little better indication what's her status for the weekend. But I don't see her be able to go on Wednesday.
And then I guess just coming off of that, what's that impact losing her? Because I know she's a pretty steady influence in the field, and then also at the plate, she provides some good pop for you.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she does, but you know, Tony stepped in that situation, did an outstanding job, and I have all confidence that Tony Barron can go in and do the job. Tony's a fast kid with a ton of athletic ability as well. She has some starts for us early in the season, so she's used to being in that role. Obviously, you never want to lose a player, much less a starting center fielder. But I feel that our team's very fortunate to have some depth in that position, and you know, we're not uncommon to people having to go down and the next person. That's why we prepare all season for these moments.
I know you're gonna probably look at me funny, but you got that 100th win. You got the commemorative bat on Saturday. At any time in the drive back, or any time between the end of the games and today, have you kind of sat back and thought about it, or has it just kind of been getting ready for the next few games?
I wish I had some kind of good story to go along with that, something that would sell papers or something, but I don't. I'll be honest with you. I tell you what I did reflect on is that I've been very fortunate to coach some outstanding players and an outstanding softball team that in a short career that allowed those numbers to happen. To be honest with you, I don't get to play a game. You know, it's the players that play. I've had some great coaching staff that's helped us get this team ready to go. So it's more of a thinking about all the players that come through the organization, that you look back and you're like, man, I've been fortunate to be around those many great players that we have this. And I hope, you know, what I do hope is that as things circulate and those things kind of went around, that every player that's played here kind of felt like they had a piece of it. I definitely don't. I just really feel like I get recognized for something that was the result of what other people have done. So I'm humbled by it. I'm excited by it. But at the end of the day, my job is to get this team to be as best as we possibly can, and to get us ready to make a run late down. But I hope everyone else was able to enjoy a little bit of that moment as well.
All right, and then my last question is, you mentioned it a little earlier, just this Southland Conference, there's so much parity. I mean, it seems like if you lose one series, it seems like, you could fall like further back just because there's so many teams at the top with a good record right now. Like, it's just, what's that like being in a conference that has just so much good parity?
Yeah, I think it's outstanding. Like, if you're a competitor, and that's what I hope our kids are, and we are as coaches, we love it. It's known every game matters, and every time you go out there, you have to compete, and just kind of get you away from, hey, you can't really worry about the race. What you have to worry about is, am I ready to play this game that's in front of me right now? And then can I play one pitch at a time? And that's when you really kind of got to go back to your training and trusting the process, and not trying to get outcome oriented, but to make sure that we play our best, we give our team the best chance for success every single pitch. And I think down the stretch, for the fans and everyone else involved, I think it's going to be really exciting to watch those numbers. I think as a coaching staff, as a team, what we have to do is make sure we stay prepared, stay focused on doing our job. And that's having good practice leading up to a series, and then making sure that we're mentally and physically ready to play each series.